We woke up to the sheriff's knocking on the door, asking for information if we had anything on our security cameras, but we have no idea what happened over there. It's awful.
Cocoa, Florida, a quiet town on the Space Coast where life moves at a relaxed pace, and the biggest spectacle is often a rocket launch, lighting up the night sky. But in the early hours of March 1, 2023, the peace was shattered by an unthinkable crime. A brutal quadruple murder left an entire family dead and a community in disbelief. The only survivors? Two young boys who woke to a nightmare as investigators raced to piece together the truth. One name emerged, a man with a dark past and a disturbing connection to the victims. This is the chilling story of betrayal, obsession, and a family torn apart by violence. Murder in Cocoa, the crime that shattered a peaceful town. Cocoa, a small city in Brevard County, Florida, is known for its historic charm and its proximity to the Kennedy Space Center. With a population of just over 19,000, this quiet town is more accustomed to the sounds of rocket launches than the echoes of violent crime. However, in the early months of 2023, a horrifying crime would shatter Cocoa's peaceful reputation, leaving the community in shock and disbelief. A tragic awakening. It was a mild 66 at 1:55 a.m. on Wednesday, March 1, 2023 in Rockledge, Florida. Kevin D. was fast asleep when his phone suddenly chimed, jolting him awake. It was a FaceTime call from an unexpected number. His girlfriend's daughter, 15-year-old Kiara Terwilliger. But when Kevin answered, it wasn't Kiara on the screen. Instead, her two young brothers, aged 6 and 9, appeared, their faces etched with fear. They had woken to the sound of crackling and screaming, only to find their family members brutally murdered. Panicked, Kevin rushed to Constance Terwilliger's home in Cocoa, keeping the boys on the phone as he drove. When he arrived, he found a nightmare beyond imagination. Lying in pools of blood were two deceased adults in the living room. Moving quickly, Kevin escorted the traumatized boys to his car before re-entering the home and dialing 911. One question burned in his mind: who could have done this and why? A crime scene of unfathomable horror. When deputies from the Brevard County Sheriff's Office arrived, they entered through the front door and discovered the full scale of the massacre. In the north bedroom, they found 63-year-old Glenda Mae Terwilliger, the family matriarch, lying motionless on the bed with a fatal gunshot wound to the face. Originally from Winlock, Washington, Glenda had been living in Cocoa with her daughter and grandchildren. In the living room, authorities discovered two more bodies: 35-year-old Constance Marie Terwilliger and her ex-boyfriend, 36-year-old Michael Andrew Watson, the father of the two young boys. Both had suffered gunshot wounds to the head. Blood pooled beneath them, and shell casings littered the floor, alongside bloody footprints. The most harrowing discovery was in the south bedroom. There, on a blood-soaked bed, lay 15-year-old Kiara Terwilliger, her life cut short by a single bullet to the head. 3 generations of Terwilliger women had been slain in one night. A suspect emerges. With no suspects at the scene, detectives launched an immediate investigation. They turned to Kevin, who provided crucial details about the victims and their relationships. When asked if anyone had a motive for harming the family, Kevin mentioned one name: Domenico Gigante. Gigante, Kiara's biological father, had lived apart from his daughter for most of her life. His relationship with Constance had been brief, just 2 months long, but it had resulted in Kiara's birth. Kevin described their relationship as troubled. Kiara harbored deep resentment toward her father for his years of absence and had no interest in reconnecting with him. According to Kevin, just the night before, Constance had mentioned that Domenico had sent Kiara a text message saying this cryptic and aggressive message, combined with prior incidents of alleged inappropriate behavior, including asking Kiara to send him photos of herself in a bathing suit, made Domenico a prime suspect. The investigation intensifies. As detectives combed through evidence, they uncovered a chilling possibility. Could Domenico Gigante have murdered his own daughter and her family in a twisted act of revenge or control? The homicide unit worked tirelessly to piece together the events of that night, seeking justice for the victims and answers for the devastated community of Cocoa. The town, once known for its warm hospitality and tranquil charm, now found itself at the center of a crime so unfathomable that it would be remembered for years to come. The only remaining question, would justice be served? Epilogue. As the case unfolded, detectives gathered evidence, interviewed witnesses, and worked to bring the perpetrator to justice. The tragic story of the Terwilliger family became a cautionary tale about the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface, even in the most peaceful places. Cocoa may never be the same, but the town's resilience and the unwavering pursuit of justice would ensure that the victims' voices were never forgotten. As the dust settled and the evidence painted a horrifying picture, the tragic murders in Cocoa, Florida, served as a grim reminder that even in the most peaceful communities, darkness can lurk beneath the surface. The lives lost that night, 3 generations of one family left an unfillable void. For the 2 young boys who survived, the scars of that night will remain forever. Justice may have caught up with the killer, but no verdict can bring back what was stolen. In the end, this case stands as a haunting tale of fractured relationships, unresolved anger, and a crime that no one saw coming until it was too late.
I'm also going to share with you that approximately 1 hour ago, our agents arrested Domenico Claude Gigante, age 36, of Rockledge, Florida. He was charged with 4 counts of premeditated first-degree murder on a warrant signed by Judge David Koenig that obviously has no bond. Folks, I'm going to tell you that this is an extremely violent individual with an extremely violent past dating back as far as 2005, who should have never been on our streets where he could take the lives of this entire family. In 2005, he was arrested for domestic violence and battery. In 2008, he was arrested for multiple counts of cruelty to animals. In 2012, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and aggravated assault. And I have said this before, that if you are the capacity of a person that you can harm an animal, you will hurt a human being. And this individual is living proof of that statement. He actually killed a dog by slamming his head on the table and then breaking his neck, and then stabbed another dog. That's the level of violence that this individual possesses. As I said, he should have never been on the street where he could harm this family or anyone else. Our team has developed him as a suspect through various leads and evidence, and I could not be more proud of our team for the job that they have done. Gigante is the biological father of Kiara, the victim who was age 15, and was formerly in a relationship with Constance, the mother. Currently, he is at our criminal investigative building and is being prepared for transport to the Brevard County Jail.